Yeah, my generation is very often criticized as one that was over coddled growing up, that was always made to feel special. And yeah, sure enough, that idea, that coddling and that uh, specializing, that's filtered itself down to the current generation, right? And so it's a weird contradiction that we all want to be so-called special, but at the same time we all want to blend in too. We don't want to stand out. And this is very true in the college classroom, as I found out this week. People are really afraid to speak out and stand out. Or they may just be, I don't know, hungover from all the first week parties. I don't know. But yeah, I just, sure enough, I have to admit, definitely, I'm not going to defend my generation. We were told that we were special, that there were things in each of us, unique qualities in each of us that made us important, that we were going to be important, if not now, then someday. Something that was making us shy and introverted and getting beaten up by bullies now, someday was going to make us a lot of money. And these are the things that we were told growing up, and no doubt for some people I'm sure it worked out just fine for them, right? Yeah, but growing up, I was always on the lookout for like special powers that I possessed, and just anything that I could find that would make me stand out or something like that. And from a very early age, I was always on the lookout for these special powers. I think it was because I grew up reading X-Men, for instance. The X-Men were just, a lot of them just kind of they were just ordinary people. They just didn't really look threatening or menacing or anything like that. I mean, and sometimes you would get a Wolverine who shot blades out of his arms or whatever, his hands. But you would get people like Gambit, who looked more or less perfectly normal, but they had these tremendous telepathic powers. Okay, and on the inside they were actually very special, and they were different from all the other rubes that you just see walking around. So, and I don't even really think this is my generation. I think that just we inherently do not want to be normal. We don't want to be boring. Most of us, if are observed by people as being boring, but we know that there are things that are going on in our minds, right, that make us different. And of course that's called, perspective. But yeah, from a very early age, I was reading X-Men. I also love this movie called Escape from Witch Mountain. If you remember, this is an old Disney movie from the 60s, about these two kids. And I believe they were twins, but I know that they were related. They were brother and sister. And they had special telepathy. Not only could they communicate between each other, but they could also move things through force of their mind, through their own will. And I just became obsessed with this idea. I was like, maybe this will make me special. Okay. And so I went to my older sister, Melissa, and I asked her, maybe we're telepathic, maybe we're witches or something. I didn't suggest let's try to move things with our mind, because that seems a little bit too dangerous. But let's sit down in the living room and try to communicate with each other, right? And just try to be telepathic. And I was really into this idea. And we sat there and just, there was absolutely nothing. I thought that maybe I could read into her mind, but that's really just kind of knowing what my sister was into. She had posters of New Kids on the Block all over the place and everything. And yeah, we were definitely not, we discovered that we were definitely, not witches, not like that at all. No, that was disappointing. It was. So But then I was taken to a doctor one day, and the doctor diagnosed me with attention deficit disorder. So the next day I go to the school and I'm like, hey guys, look at me. I'm attention deficit boy. Right? I'm so much specialer than you because I can't pay attention. I was all over the place. And then, come to find out, I inherited from my father, and also my sister has it too. It's like we as a family are special because we all have Tourette's syndrome, right? This Tourette's, right? Yeah. I'm Tourette's boy. Look at me, flying high.